Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Argo Sports Insider. This is your home for UWF athletics. I'm Will Kennedy, your host, and we are shining the light on all the fantastic things going on with our Argo teams. We'll get to know our student athletes, coaches, and staff, and hopefully have a little fun along the way. We start this episode on the basketball court. The UWF women's basketball team played their way to the semifinals of the Gulf South Conference tournament up in Birmingham over the weekend. The Argos found themselves on the court once again with Union. The two teams split their regular season matchups, and this tourney game had all the makings of a classic. Coach Stephanie Lawrence Yelton's team trailed by as many as 13 points in the first half, then put on a furious second half comeback. The Argos took a 5-point lead with just under 7 minutes left to play in the game, but ran out of gas down the stretch. 13th ranked Union pulls away for a 67-59 victory. Zoe Pillar led the way for UWF with 17 points and 9 rebounds. Jacqueline Jarnett, 12 and 8. Haley Luttrell chipped in with 13 points in the loss. The Argos finished the season 22 and 7, but found themselves on the outside looking in when it came time for NCAA tournament bids.
Yeah, super proud of our team for taking care of business and actually getting to Birmingham. Just getting to the semifinals in the Gulf South Conference tournament is a huge accomplishment for any team. And we were happy to be there and happy to be back there. It's been a few years since the Argos had made an appearance in Birmingham. But I thought the game against Union was highly competitive. Union's a very good team, obviously, wound up being the champion at the end of the tournament. But I thought we played well. We got down early, and at halftime, we really made some adjustments of, just playing a little bit tougher, a little bit more together, and then come out, got a little bit of a lead there in the third and into the fourth quarter, and they just could not hold on to that lead through the fourth. Our downside was the last 6 minutes and 56 seconds we didn't hit a bucket. We just stopped scoring in that fourth quarter, and that was really the detriment for us in that game. But super proud of our effort. I've said that all year, is that our players always play hard. I know they're going to bring that to the table, but to be competitive in that game was super fun, and I hate to see it end for us on that day, but I thought our players gave it their best. Yeah, I thought this season was tremendous for us, especially after a slow start. We started the season 1-3 overall at the start of the season. We were counting our blessings, going 5-5 and being 500 at Christmas break. But I think the biggest thing in that story is that our coaching staff never wavered. Our assistant coaches were in my ear that whole time to saying, it's coming together, we've just got to give it some time. And sure enough, when we gave it some time, and after Christmas, we went 17-2 after Christmas break, and our only 2 losses being to the same team, Union University, who's wound up being our tournament champion and a top 5 team in the country. And so, I think that says it all, that our players came back from break and were really ready to make a big run in the GSC, and we did that. Big accomplishments for this season: 11-2 on our home court this year, 3 wins over top 25 opponents. Our 8th 20-win season in program history, the 4th in just 9 years. Players, they had some individual accomplishments this year. Of course, Jacqueline Jarnett, being player of the year in our conference, but Jack also was named to first team all-conference with that player of the year honor. Jack was also able to reach 1,000 points in her career, along with 1,000 rebounds in her career this season. And on top of that, she ranked in the top 5 in the conference in 5 statistical categories. I mean, that's an amazing season. Zoe was named first team all-conference, and she had a phenomenal year for us too. Haley Luttrell was named all-tournament at the GSC tournament, but she also reached some milestones herself. She was able to get 1,000 points in her career, and she left her name on the all-time single-season list for three-pointers made. Mariah Taylor also made a great impact on our team this year. She led our conference in assist-to-turnover ratio the whole season, which for a new point guard coming into a highly competitive league says a lot. And we're happy that she's going to be returning to our team for one more season.
The nationally ranked UWF swimming and diving team is in Indianapolis this week for the NCAA Division II championships. The Argos send 12 student athletes to Indiana with 7 swimmers and 5 divers, marking the most qualifiers in program history. We will be keeping an eye on all the action for you for the rest of the week and have the results for you on the next edition of Argo Sports Insider. It was a busy weekend for UWF baseball with the Argos hosting conference rival Delta State for a series at the Spoon. The home team got off to a strong start in the series opener on Friday. The Argos scored 2 runs in the bottom of the first, and starting pitcher Dalton Neuschwander picked up his 4th win of the season, tossing 8 shutout innings in a 2-0 victory. Pitcher Cade Manderscheid was just as good in his outing on Saturday, 8 2/3 innings, allowing only 1 run in a 3-1 win. Delta salvaged something from the series in the finale, earning a 4-2 win in the late game on Saturday. Tyler Dowdy provided the runs for the Argos, blasting his first home run of the season in the 4th inning. UWF is now 11-5 on the season and 3-3 in Gulf South Conference play. Coach, it's always a tough series when Delta comes in. I mean, really well played from start to finish.
Yeah, it was a great series. You know, our pitching and defense was outstanding. Pitching and defense was at a premium today. You know, Posey in that second game here was having some stomach flu virus going on, and you know, he gutted it out and they put together 2 or 3 hits there, and I just felt like we needed a little bit of a change of pace, and unfortunately the guy caught a breaking ball off Dowdy and hit a 3-run homer. That was the difference in the game. You know, we had 9 strikeouts, I think 4 or so looking. We got to do a better job of recognizing that and getting better at putting balls in play. I think our offense is better, and you know, taking 2 of 3, as you say, from Delta is great, but I thought we had a great opportunity today to maybe get a sweep here, to maybe get over 500 in conference. But Delta's a tough team, as any conference team is. They took the lead there on that big hit, and it was just hard for us to overcome. A little bit disappointing in that. But, you know, we can gather ourselves this week and get back going again, getting ready for Huntsville, getting on the road.
You know, bouncing back from the trip to Union with the win at Spring Hill midweek and then 2 or 3 you mentioned here. I mean, I know you like to see your team come back after disappointment and play well.
Yeah, you know, and we dealt with a lot of bad weather up there at Union this past weekend. No excuses, but it was wet and cold, and both teams had to deal with it. Friday night went all our way. Saturday didn't go our way, and as you said, we had to regroup and get back on the road on a Tuesday midweek and won over there. And, you know, really pleased with the way the guys bounced back from the adversity and having faith. Again, we won the series, and that was positive. A little disappointing on this loss here in this 3rd game, but I think we'll get it going again.
Some outstanding starting pitching in games 1 and 2, though.
Yeah, outstanding. I mean, our pitching has been great. The defense has been great, and we got to keep doing that. And that's what this league is going to be all about. Whether you win 2-0, 1-0, or lose, you know, you want to keep yourself in the ball game. This team is doing that. We had chances there in this last game, 4-2 loss, and you know, really just never got anything going. But when we did, we didn't capitalize. So one of those things we got to learn from it, as we talk about every game this season, and get better.
Tyler, I know, you know, he didn't want you could see it on his face when he gave up the home run, but then he turns around and hits one out, you know, to left field right after. And baseball's a weird game like that.
Well, and the nice thing about that was, you know, we had Tyler in the DH spot, so I could bring him in to pitch and then take him out of the pitching and still leave him in the DH spot. So it's not too often a pitcher gets to go to the plate and make up maybe for, you know, a bad mistake pitch he made. And he got 2 of those 3 runs back on his home run. So that was a nice thing he did there for us, and we were hoping that would get us going, but it just wasn't enough.
You mentioned hitting the road to go up to Huntsville. I mean, it's a long trip, and they're usually a good, tough opponent.
Yeah, Huntsville's always scrappy, and you know, we hadn't won the series up there very often. We hadn't been up there in 4 years or so. They've been coming here, or the alternation of missing them off the schedule. So it's been a while since we've been up there. It'll be another great challenge. We got to show we can win on the road, and this is another opportunity to do that.
The Argos make the trip up to Huntsville, Alabama this weekend, opening a series with the Chargers on Friday. Neuschwander is your Gulf South Conference Pitcher of the Week for the 2nd time this season, thanks to that strong effort against Delta. Softball was also at home over the weekend, and the Argos pulled out a series win. UWF got off to a fast start in a Saturday doubleheader. Montana Young sparkled in the pitcher's circle, tossing 5 shutout innings in Game 2 of the double dip. It was a wild one. The series wrapped up with a single game on Sunday, and the home team came to hit. Maddie Vasquez went 3 for 5, extending her hitting streak now to 12 games, and the team pounded out 19 hits in a 15-7 win. The Argos improved to 8-7 on the season and 2-3 in conference play.
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, this team's trying to fight through some things, and I think today showed a lot. Our pitching staff has been giving up more hits than we usually do, and we're working through some things. So the fact that our hitters can come back, even our loss, we came back and almost won in the last inning, and that shows a lot of fight. And that's what it's all about. When we get to postseason, that's what it's going to come down to, and we just got to keep fighting throughout the season. I think just like our before the game started, you know, we just told them to, you know, swing hard. Every time they're going to go, they're going to swing hard, you know, and that's the difference right there is if you commit to whatever you're doing, you're going to be successful. You're going to fail sometimes, but that's part of this game. And so they need to fail hard instead of trying to question what they're going to do. Hannah Harper's been so tough for us, and to move her in our #1 spot as a freshman, she just capitalized on it. And just to find someone that could lead us right there, I think it's going to be a big turnaround for the season.
Softball is also on the road at UAH, opening a series on Saturday. Both UWF tennis teams have been plenty busy over the last week plus, with a mix of matches on the road and at home. The women hosted second-ranked Nova Southeastern last Wednesday, dropping a tough 5-2 match. The Argos turned around and took on 6th-ranked Lynn in Valdosta, Georgia on Friday, losing to another ranked opponent. Then they were back at home this Tuesday, hosting 12th-ranked West Alabama for a GSC matchup. That match went to the wire, with West Al pulling out a 4-3 result. The UWF men are ranked 8th in the nation. Their schedule was a little less hectic last week, with just one match against Lynn in Valdosta, and the Argos took down the 10th-ranked team in the country with a 4-0 clean sweep. The men were also at home to host West Alabama in a GSC match on Tuesday, walking off the court with a 5-2 victory. The men improved to 6-1 for the season. The women fall to 4-5. Both teams will travel back to Valdosta on Sunday to take on St. Leo before coming back to Pensacola. They will host North Georgia on Tuesday the 14th. It is the final week for spring football. The Argos had their second scrimmage of the spring over the weekend, and we caught up with the coaching staff and some of the players after those festivities to break down the action.
Both sides of the ball came out pretty hot today. Defense stopped us on the third and out early in the drive, on the first drive. So we had a good chance to kick a field goal. I thought Griff Sarah was unbelievable today. Made every field goal. He's automatic like we know he is. I thought we played much better on the O-line, ran the ball pretty well today. Had good pocket presence as quarterbacks. I think we're getting better on both sides of the ball.
Last week, you know, it was kind of the first day of heat. You know, and we kind of came out a little bit dead and had to find our rhythm. We found our rhythm very early, especially with Griffin Sarah making a kick for us, man. That was huge, and then we just built off of that. So, yeah, we just had momentum built early.
For the defense, we only came in with 6 or 7 healthy defensive linemen, so that was pretty different. We didn't really prepare for that, but when we knew what we had to do before practice, we got it done, and we got our mindset right to, you know, just work through it, push through it, and do our best.
I think we did a good job of flying around. We played a lot more physical today. Nothing's ever going to be perfect, but I think we're trending in the right direction. And guys are buying into the culture and getting better every day. So I'm definitely pleased with where we're at right now.
The football spring game will take place on Thursday, March 9th, starting at 6 p.m. on Penn Air Field. We have some other news and notes for you. The third-ranked UWF men's golf team teed it up at the Las Vegas Desert Classic this week. The Argos finished 8th overall in the team field. That was a strong field for this event. Elias Avisto finished 8th in the individual scoring, and the men will be back on the course at the Southeastern Collegiate in Valdosta, Georgia, starting Monday the 13th. And our UWF women's team will be in action in the Emerald Coast Classic in Destin, Florida. That tees off Sunday, March 12th. And that is a look at all the things we've got going on for this edition of Argo Sports Insider. Don't forget, GoArgos.com is your online home for all things UWF athletics. Check out your latest news and notes, schedules, rosters, and tons of other good stuff there. And you can follow us on the Argo Armada app on your phone or tablet. You can find that in the Apple or Google app stores. And we are all over social media for you. Don't forget to follow and engage with your favorite Argo teams. That's it for now. We'll see you next time. And as always, go Argos!
Groundbreaking orthopedic care is more than top-rated quality scores, more than leading-edge treatment options, more than world-class care close to home. It's all that and more. Andrews Institute. Groundbreaking care.